What is the mindset you need to be an innovator? Hi, it's Michael with Intentions. Thanks for joining me today. I just got done with work this morning, and the idea of the innovator's mindset came to the forefront of my thinking today, and I thought I would do a video on it. I wholly believe that if you want to be an entrepreneur, you need a particular mindset, and it's very beneficial to have a core set of skills to be able to develop a value producing idea in the marketplace. However, I think you can have an entrepreneur mindset and still be a W 2 employee. You don't necessarily need to be a small business owner. You can be an employee of a big uh, um, workplace. It really is more about the innovator. So I'm in the healthcare field, and one would classify an entrepreneur and as a physician as being a systems thinker, the health system science. And I think this extends to different sectors of the marketplace. So I found something that I thought was quite interesting. Let me pull it up here. And I am sharing my screen. I think you can replace starting a business here with being an innovator, seeking freedom, being a value producer, whatever you want to call. And I think I can make this bigger. Here we go. All right. This is the key attributes and personality traits of the ideal entrepreneur. Calculated and logical. By informing all your decisions with data and logic, you'll be more likely to reach the right people at the right time. Evaluate and iterate the choices you make to ensure your approach is going to be spot on. Motivated and focused. Motivation and focus stems from having a genuine interest in what you are doing. Regular goal setting gives you the targets to meet, uh, keep you constantly engaged in your venture. And I think that's so true. Confident and outgoing. To truly capitalize on an idea, you need to have faith in your product or service along with the self confidence to execute it properly. Risk taking and courageous. Being comfortable with taking risks is vital for a business to grow and succeed. It is important to understand what risks are worthwhile and not to be impulsive. I think this is where the idea of having a business training or the idea of understanding how to start a business is important because it helps you do calculated evaluations of if your idea is worthwhile and going to produce value in either the workplace or the marketplace. Strong work ethic. I mean, I have tons of videos on this from the earlier stages of my channel. The most famous entrepreneurs in history typically possess intense go-getter personalities. A true entrepreneur knows that nothing just comes to you. You have to go out into the world and earn it yourself. I mean, this is so true. I think no matter what your political affiliations are, there's this idea of meritocracy. Um, and if you want to be a business owner, an innovator, an entrepreneur, a high level manager, a CEO, a CMO, whatever, you have to produce value and you have to do it with your skill set. And if you don't have the skill set, you need to develop the skill set. And that is so important. Creative and innovative. Creativity and innovation is what makes a business stand out. Being creative in your products, services, and operations appeals to both consumers and employees alike. I also think that you need to have a place to create and innovate, whether that's temporal or it has to be uh, in a specific time. I think that if you don't have ideas and you don't have that creativity, then you might not have understanding of the processes that are causing people problems. An entrepreneur is a problem solver. A health system science thinker is a problem solver. An innovator is a problem solver. So you have to understand how the world operates. And if you don't, maybe you just need to spend more time on your skills development, because during skill development, you become more well read and more understanding of the world. Patient and perseverance. Success doesn't happen overnight. The most successful businesses are formed over long periods of sustained hard work in the face of constant problems, stresses, and setbacks. Idea of resiliency is so key here, and I think coming up, I'm going to do a video on my personal perseverance and resiliency and how I got to where I am today. Passionate and determined. If you passionately believe in your venture and absolutely refuse to give up, success is bound to follow. For entrepreneurs, there's never enough time in the day. So true. And I think there's importance in being able to eliminate the waste in your day and optimize the value creating portions of your day. And again, I go back to my potential energy optimization that I've talked about in the past. Making connections. This is my biggest weakness, I believe. Charisma and networking with influencers and customers helps lead to valuable and long lasting relationships, which are crucial for a business to excel. My biggest weakness is I don't have the relationship capital that I need, but I'm working on building it. I am working on building it, whether it's in the healthcare sector or even outside. I'm constantly trying to make connections. Versatility and agility. Adapting to change is a vital skill when keeping with consumers' needs, competitors, and an ever changing marketplace. I mean, the idea to pivot is important so that you can maintain momentum and keep progressing. So I really like this because I think these are some core skills and attributes. I guess they're not skills, they're attributes and traits of an innovator. And I don't care what your field is. If you want to be a business owner one day, if you want to be an innovation lead in your workplace, if you want to be able to bring your ideas to the forefront, this is an important thing that y'all need to do. Want to learn more? Grab this 50 investing visuals here. Wonder what this link takes us. Ooh, okay. It's a promotion. All right. Great. Great. Warren Buffett said, "We don't have to be smarter than the rest. We just have to be more disciplined than the rest." So true. I think that comes to the idea of important is that infographic talked about was the idea of being able to outwork your competition. I think there's this idea that nothing's going to be given to you, so you need to find time and create time to do your deep work. So I believe that the capacity to do work will outshine talent any day. Talent is nothing without being able to do work on a consistent discipline level. So let's look at this deep work routine. So first you can prioritize, pick one task to work on. I've already talked about the idea that multitasking isn't beneficial. Protect your time. Find a 1 hour window, 2 to 3 is better. And I block items on my calendar. And you have to find your most productive time. Mine is in the early morning. Find a space. As you can see, I'm up in this workout area. This is my productivity area. I think that's important to have everything you need to do deep work. Have your water, coffee, have everything ready to go for, and then you start your timer of doing your deep work. So preparation is key. Put phone away, switch your phone to airplane. Oh, that's a good idea. Put on airplane mode. There's also a ton of distraction apps. Just came across this one. It's called Block or Build. I think it was Block. What the heck was it? Well, anyways, I think you can have these fancy apps to turn off your notifications, but I also think you can just be disciplined enough to put it to the side. I have my phone right here. Um, but whenever I'm doing deep work, I do try to move it away. Shut apps. I think that's important. Grab a pen and pad. Always have one handy. This also helps me if something pops into my head. I don't have to worry about it. Like, "Ah, I hope I don't forget or I want to work on that." I block it out of my brain. I take it away from my brain and I write it down and then I can work on it at another time. Simply write down and move on. Use headphones. Got mine on right here. Clear your mind. I think a lot of people have trouble clearing your mind. I think the best thing I can do personally is to make sure I'm working out in the morning and it creates this space to help me know that I can have clarity and it just frees out a lot of that extra clutter in my mind. Use a timer. That's good. I've talked about the Pomodoro technique before. I think this is a good point here is to improve. So to make improvements for next time, I think reflect on how your deep work went will be key and then make tweaks to how you can improve. There's an entrepreneur, the entrepreneur mindset has this idea of always consistently improving and ensuring that there's always a potential for process improvement. And then you need to be in the state of mind to do deep work. So make sure you're eating, make sure you're getting plenty of sleep, and make sure you're moving daily. Let's see who this is from. This is from, oh, same guy. Always keep learning. Seems like a lot of his stuff has come across my way. And the reason why people want to be an entrepreneur, business leader, mindset leader is because you want to be a leader. That's kind of the key components of being an entrepreneur is taking on these leadership positions, but you can be a leader without any title. And so here's the mindsets you need. It's not about you. Great leaders focus on team successes, not their own ego. Listen, then speak. The best ideas often come from those who aren't talking the loudest. Stay uncomfortable. Growth comes when you're outside your comfort zone. So, in case you're wondering, I'm an internal medicine and pediatrics trained physician. And whenever I was on pediatrics, I felt uncomfortable because I had medicine training. And whenever I was on medicine, I felt uncomfortable because of my pediatrics training. And I think this idea of uncomfortability helps you be comfortable with being uncomfortable so that you can always pivot and adapt to difficult situations. And here it is, being calm in the chaos. When things get messy, a steady leader stands out. Honest feedback and evaluation is a key component of being a leader. Find the find the why, be the why finder. Help people understand the purpose behind their work. You can't innovate if you don't have a vision and a mission to what you're working on, and if you can help other people find that, it is so valuable. Fail often. Make sure you own your own mistakes, share the lessons, and inspire others to take risks. Lead from the trenches. My boss at work, he's so good at this. He he's the chief of hospital medicine, and he is frequently doing the day-to-day work. And our group finds that very admirable. Play the long game, build trust is so key, and be real and honest. Authenticity connects. And I mean, honestly, I've tried to be authentic by doing these live streams rather than have AI build my videos. And I hope people will find that valuable. I like what this is. A true leader builds trust, embraces discomfort, uplifts others. Leadership is action, not a title. Yeah, so true. All right, let's post this to the old timeline here. I don't think it's called timeline. All right, folks, I think moving forward, I would like to do, have I read this out? 6 things mentally strong people do. They move on. They don't waste their time feeling sorry for themselves. They embrace change. They welcome challenges. They stay happy. They don't waste energy on things they can't control. They are kind, fair, and unafraid to speak up. They are willing to take calculated risks. They celebrate other people's success and they don't resent that success. Yeah. All right. Coming up here, I want to do this one. 12 must read nonfiction books, visual summaries. I've read about half of the books. I haven't read all of them, but I'd like to be on the journey together with you. So let's see if I can do that in an upcoming video. I think it'd be interesting. Stop sharing. All right, folks, that's all I have for you today. I have enjoyed that. I believe that the entrepreneur mindset can be in any field of work. You don't have to be your own business owner. You can be the entrepreneur in your workplace and be the innovator. Uh, I'll leave you with one video that I'd like for y'all to watch, and it is. Let me see if I can get it up here. It was on my YouTube feed, and I know I've tried this in the past, but I can't. I don't seem to be able to play videos with you, and I probably just need different software. But I want to show you this video that you all can watch on your own time, and it's this one right here. I have to watch this ad. All right, I'm gonna share. Ready? Back. I've Guys, this is a great mouthpiece for what it is to be a leader and a value creator. I would I think everyone would benefit from reading his books and watching his videos, but his most recent video here is how to innovate in the workplace. Got me inspired to make this video. It's a 2-minute clip, and it's interesting how this has turned into now an 18-minute video. But I think it's something you can work into your schedule to watch. It's only 2 minutes long, and hopefully you can reflect upon it. Uh, and tell me what you think. I'd also love to hear on what you think about the entrepreneur mindset and how you don't necessarily need to be a business owner. I also apologize for my cat. He's been running around in the background, probably distracting you all. Otherwise, have a great day. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care. This is Aimed Intentions, and I'm Michael. Bye.